O Lord, my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the world's thy hands have made, I see the stars, I hear the rolling thunder, thy power throughout the universe displayed. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art! How great thou art!
I first met Eduardo at Passion City Church through a small group called Love is a Verb. I saw him one night and it was as though God highlighted him amongst like every other person there that night.
I was about to leave that day. I was going upstairs. I saw her like coming towards me, like to say hello. So I was like, oh, hi, how are you? We kind of like talk a little bit.
He said, "You look like you're really in love with Jesus." And I said, "Well, I am." And I was kind of like more interested in knowing, what made him say that. We chatted on Facebook for about a week.
I asked her if she was going to church and if she could save me a seat. She told me where she was sitting. And after that, we talked a little bit after, and I met a few of her friends. And I asked her, are you gonna do anything after? Do you wanna, have lunch or anything?
And he basically said, "Do you like to have sushi?" And I was like, "Yeah, I love sushi." I was oblivious to the fact that it was a date. I was getting ready to pay for my meal because, like I said, I didn't think it was a date. I mean, he just slipped the waiter his card and he paid for both of us, and it was very sweet.
I was on Facebook and I saw that Hillsong was coming to Atlanta. I was like, I want to go, but I don't want to go by myself. So I bought 2 tickets.
A month later, he asked me at church, he said, "Do you have any plans for July 19th? And I was like, "No." And then he said, "Would you like to go to the Hillsong concert with me?" And I was like screaming because I absolutely love Hillsong since I was like so young.
Yeah, so Hillsong was actually like our first official date. On her birthday, August 11th, that day I asked her if she wanted to be my girlfriend, and that's when everything kind of started.
I had already felt just the presence of Jesus bless me in that next move with him, even though I met him at a time where I was not intending to date anyone. We just immediately, we already had like a bond. It was just very authentic. It was something just so real, and it just was like, I knew that it was an answered prayer. I saw this contest on Instagram, and it was called Bless a Bride Giveaway. A bride had the opportunity to submit her and her fiance's story for a chance to win like free wedding photography, free wedding videography, free wedding invitation design, so much. I mean, the full deal. And so I was just in awe that there was a studio out there who just wanted to rally around couples who were getting married and just support them financially. I mean, that is a huge way to support someone getting married because weddings are very expensive. I was also very hesitant to apply because we were not yet engaged, and I knew that was the criteria for being selected. And so I took a deep breath and I wrote our story out.
October, I started to look at rings. One day I was driving and I saw one of this jewelry store, and I stopped there. I saw the perfect ring for her, and then that's when I put the money down to actually buy the ring. So I was like, okay, this is real, it's happening.
I received some heartbreaking news, so I thought, and that was an email from Rob, and he emailed me and he told me something along the lines of, thank you for applying, but unfortunately you are not one of the finalists. I mean, that was pretty sweet, but I was still very heartbroken because I was just so excited, and I told everyone, and I'm pretty sure people could imagine how things feel when you tell people that you're applying for something, you don't get it. But it was okay because I knew that someone would get it, and that was a huge way to be blessed. I ended up texting Eduardo immediately after I read the email, and I told him, and he texted me back, and he's like, oh no, I'm heartbroken too. All alone, Eduardo knew something that I didn't know.
I kind of told her like, oh, let's dress up. I think it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a while since we don't dress up and go on a date. And she was like, okay, cool. So we dressed up a little bit, and then we went to this sushi place in Roswell.
This is very sweet because I did mention to him one time, I was like, I actually like dressing up, I just don't do it as often. We ended up going to Vickery Creek, which is another place that we've gone to before. He's like, hey, leave your coffee in the car. I didn't know what he was doing, and so I started getting suspicious. He puts on a blazer, and so I'm like, okay, something's up. And all of a sudden, Eduardo tells me, he's like, you know why I brought you here, right? And then he's like, Jasmine Nicole Kinchin, and he gets down on his knee, and I think I stumbled almost. I'm going crazy when he asked me, he's like, will you marry me? And I said yes. I screamed yes. I looked up after he proposed, and I saw Rob Green, the studio owner, and he came behind a tree. I screamed, and he's like, yeah, you probably put 2 and 2 together, but you guys are the Blessed Bride winners. And I just lose my mind. I had no idea that Eduardo knew the whole time because he did not whisper a single word to me about it. And so we were the winners all alone, and it was just incredible because when God moves, he moves very quickly, and he moved in such a generous way by this contest and trusting us, with this reward, and then moving with Eduardo and answering my prayers of a husband, and it was the best day of my entire life.
What I love most about Jasmine is her heart to love people and to help people. She cared about people that are starving, people that, she was so passionate about, all of this, to helping people.
He has such a genuine spirit, and he would give someone the shirt off of his back.
I remember telling her, we were not even dating or anything, and I said, wow, I love the way that you love Jesus. He was impressed. One other thing that I love about Jasmine is how caring she is. Could be anywhere that she's gonna, make her work to try to help you to feel better. It's hard for her to see someone in pain or suffering, and no way that she just cannot help that person.
I see him, I see Jesus. That Jesus is very proud of him because he just exhibits the characteristics that God intended in a husband. I know that he loves me from the overflow of the love that he receives from the Father. Eduardo is the most handsome man, ever. I just love him because he has such a beautiful spirit inside and out. And I see that when I'm with him, I see that when he's around others.
I want to say to us all, you, Eduardo, and Jasmine, as you have come together now in the presence of God, you have committed your vows one to another. You have said to one another that I will be with you forever.
I love the way he loves other people. He loves people so well. He loves his family well. He loves the little kids that he's constantly pouring into every single Sunday at church. He loves me so well. He loves my parents, my siblings, my friends. He loves very well, and I love that about him.
You may very well kiss your bride.
I'm just thrilled for marriage because I'm thrilled for what God has in store for us as far as this mission as a married couple. Above all else in our lives, we want people to be in heaven because of us. We want there to be people who have a place in heaven because we use all the gifts and all the talents and all the resources that God trusted with us, and we invested them for his kingdom to be advanced in this world.
Let the Lord use us in our lives, and people were gonna be able to see Jesus through our marriage. God put us together for a reason, so we wanna be able to, let God use us for that.
My hope is that, we would raise a family on mission with Jesus. We would raise leaders who would be leaders of their generation and who would walk in our footsteps. And we want Jesus to be glorified because that was our mission before we were married. That will remain our mission as a married couple.
I'm really excited about, us having a family. We both love kids, and we definitely want to have kids.
And of course, we want to travel. We want to care for vulnerable kids in Brazil. We want to be the voice for the voiceless, and we just want to ultimately just steward what God has given us well. And we don't know what that would look like, but we know who's in front of us, and we know who's beside us, and who's walking behind us. Together, we're going to link arms with Jesus, and we're going to run our race.
She have a dream to go to Brazil, so I think it's gonna be fun for us. Show her a little bit about my culture and where I came from.
My biggest hope is that we would just have lived our lives with our hands open and not closed, because we want to just live a life where we are open to receive all that God has for us, but we also want to be able to offer him what we have. May we live generous lives, and that 40 years reflect our generosity that starts now.